Hi all, it is April the 6th and this fine Sunday rainy evening I am making laundry detergent, so I wanted to bring you along for that. This recipe is tweaked to our preference, so whatever you prefer you're welcome to do. The first thing that we do is I have a heated pot, water almost boiling but not boiling, just really warm. And I have added 1/2 box of the Zote soap flakes. This is the box they come to us when we order them online in. And this box equals 2 bars, so I only use half of the box. So that is what we put in first, and then we do 2 cups of the borax. And I buy this borax, I order it online also, but I buy it by the bucket because I use it for several different things. For laundry detergent, for dishwasher tabs, and then there's also a soil amendment in the garden that requires a couple tablespoons, I think, of it. So we use it for several things, so I order it by the bucket. The next thing that we are going to do is pour this in a 5-gallon bucket. I have stirred this, and you can see I have stirred it until it is thicker. Everything is dissolved together in the liquid, and it does have some bubbles, but it doesn't bubble very much. So I have done that, and I will take this and pour it into we use a food grade 5-gallon bucket. So this will end up making 5 gallons of this mixture. And so that is what we will do now, and then we will go out to the patio because we have a sweet daughter who works at the hospital, and she has to be up in the morning at 3, so we're not going to run the electric mixer inside the house. So we'll do that on the patio, but first we're going to pour this into the bucket. Okay. Then I will take you along with me and our bucket out to the patio. Sorry guys, this is real life when you do these things by yourself. So the next thing that we will do is we will add the 2 cups of Arm & Hammer Laundry Booster. And that is this. This is what we use to the bucket. And I will also add 3 gallons of water to this. So I will have to go get the water, so I'm gonna have a video timeout for you, and I will come back in what will be 1 second for you, but I will add the 3 gallons of water. So let me go get that, and we will add that. Okay, I have returned. I have added 3 gallons of water, just from a picture from inside. Our water is filtered, but the only reason that I use our filtered water is just because I don't want chlorine in some things. So the chlorine probably wouldn't hurt for this. And I have stirred with the electric stir. Well, what I will say is I have moved to hand stirring because that electric stir created quite the bubbles. So you may or may not want to do that. I'm going to add the washing soda. This is the washing soda powder. And so I'm going to add that a little at a time as I stir with this hand stirrer, just so it doesn't clump up as bad. Hopefully I will not have to use the electric stirrer to get this to blend up. Typically, even if it takes about 10 or so minutes, it's easier just to stir with a paint stirrer or a long spoon. Like I said, I'm using this one that I have designated for my laundry detergent. So that's what I'm using today. So however you prefer to do that. I think maybe my construction drill might just be a little bit powerful. So however you decide to do that is up to you. The water is also about lukewarm now. I put barely warm water when I added, so the water is about lukewarm. And the next thing that I will add is I will add the 1 cup of baking soda. And so, as I said before, it's in powder form, so I'm just adding a little at a time. Stir, stir, stir as you add a little at a time. So I will do 1 cup of baking soda. And that just helps with odors. The Zote soap, if I can speak, does have a really good clean scent. I think you can get it unscented. I just get the lightly scented because we don't do well at our house with a lot of scent, but it just smells really clean. The baking soda helps, and the washing soda powder does help with the thickness of this. It does thicken up over time. What I will say is, so because you make this at home, you are not using a lot of chemicals that keep it from separating. So if you find that you have to shake it more than you want to when you're using it, sometimes you do have to shake it up. I will mix this really good today. I will leave it in the 5-gallon bucket. I will mix it again, probably with the electric mixer tomorrow. And then after that, typically I use enough of the borax and the washing soda that it thickens up enough that it don't separate real bad. Occasionally I put mine in the dispensers like you get regular laundry detergent in the stores. And so I may have to take the jug down and shake it occasionally, but it's not bad. If it is not as thick, or if it separates as you want, you can get vegetable glycerin online, and you can buy like a 4 or 6 ounce bottle of that, and you would only use like 2 teaspoons in this 5-gallon bucket. So you could buy that when you buy your other ingredients and have enough to use multiple times. But it will keep it from separating. So if you run into that and you don't like it, then there are ways, natural ways that aren't as chemically based to fix things when you're doing it at home. Excuse me. My goal is to have things at home that are less chemically based and more natural ingredients, things that aren't so harmful. Our lights are blinking for some reason. It is raining outside, so however, so that is part of my goal, just to limit the ingredients and the chemicals that we use on a daily basis, laundry being one of those. Also, my goal is to save us money. And so this accomplishes that very much so. If you have bought a gallon or a gallon and a half jug of laundry detergent anytime soon. I spent, I think, probably less than $30 on everything. And I will make laundry detergent. This 5-gallon, this will make 5 gallons. And then when we pour it in our gallon container, I will add 3/4 this and 1/4 water. So I still am adding more water. So this 5-gallon bucket will make probably 8 or 10 gallons of laundry detergent. Maybe, probably at least 10. So that being said, it's a whole lot less money than the laundry detergent that I would be buying if I were buying it in the store. So this 5 gallons in this bucket will make 12 gallons, I think, if I add right. By history, if I add a half or a fourth water when I put it in the jug, and it really just depends on how thick it is in the 5-gallon bucket based on how much water I add to it. And then I just use the cup that comes with it per load. So it's a lot of loads of laundry that this will do. The last thing that you add, this is the OxyClean Laundry Booster. And it is just, that's one more thing that I add to ours that you don't have to add. But I add it just because it does add some cleaning power, since our clothes are typically super dirty. And so that's how this will go. I will mix this again tomorrow with the electric mixer. And then I will put probably half and half a gallon of this and half a gallon of water in our dispenser. And I will leave the rest of it. Some people go ahead and dispense it out into dispensers, and that's fine. I probably will not for ours because I have food grade buckets, and I just have a top that goes on this that is food grade. And so I will most likely leave the remainder in the bucket, and I will just add a half or 3/4 based on how thin or thick it is in this 5-gallon bucket to my dispenser. And then I will add the other half or the other fourth water when I mix it in. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I will try to also put in the notes the recipe for this and how much I end up using of what I'm mixing here and how much I end up using water, just so you'll have it for an example. I hope you have a fantastic evening. I definitely plan to.